stream from earlier, since I was really tired. But I am back online now, waiting. But just note, guys, if I lose power here, it's because we're in a tropical storm. But let's see. So what do I know about this case now? I just got up out of a freaking long sleep. I was tired. Okay, so what about this Redtail? It was extremely challenging to clear. My respect to you. Want to do the beach too, Father? Unfortunately, I had work to finish off. Unfortunately, of course. It meant that as my assistant, Ray, was invited to take my place. Of course, not all that I didn't like to decline such an invitation. But if only I had, I'd never have seen that awful sight. Let's see, wrecked, remorse, regret. Very well, I must ask you to present your former testimony to the court. You will give an account. You will give an account of all that you witnessed on your improv excursion on the coast. Of course, Your Excellency. Well, as I racked by remorse and regret, I am. On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment in this disguise. I just managed to catch the cab. I managed to catch that crab when I suddenly heard the caterwaul from behind me. So I ran into the beach hut at once, where I found the pair in question. Look at this young girl was tried from the Englishwoman, the dagger, and she stabbed wildly. I saw the blood in the blade, and it proved she had stabbed the victim multiple times. Multiple times? The body doesn't look like it was multiple times, was it? A deep stab wound. Deep stab wound. Okay. No, it's pupil construction. It's observed in the... Wait a minute. She caught the victim's eyes? No, the hair is fine. And if you recall, I promised evidence as well. What phrase did he use again? Oh, yes. Was it the damning evidence? What have you there, Consul? A so-called fountain pen, is it? Correct, Your Excellency. I found out at the scene was... Well, I was examining the body. That's right, the fountain pen. Oh, the owner's initials have been engraved. to the Ebonite Feral. Ray. She's leaving abundant. That will be immediately as that as critical evidence. Wait, we can't. Wait, I can't examine the pen? Really? Under the evidence. How good I feel. I don't understand. The prosecutor auctioned me months ago. Had none. No. That means yes. Can I just view the pen? Certain evidence I can't. Is that a jaunty disguise? Those are orders I gave. Oh, you're describing the victim's scream for suitably to sleep the sun. Let's say, yeah, well, like. Simple structure, and it's a red to replace the virgin of the sun. Although the Englishwoman commanded the hunt for herself. I was supposed to do my ceremony in the second. We're trying to be in question. Can't you examine? Found the parent question. Wait, by pair, you don't mean to say, well, how could that be? I misunderstand. Obviously, I met the victim and the defendant. You jump to conclusions. You have to... I'm here in a hut. Oh, sorry, Seth. Really ghastly scene. Stabbed wildly, you actually saw her do it. Yes, indeed. I think you're going to say you're not confident that you really did see what you described. No, I mean, yes. I mean, I know what I saw. Let me get to it. It's a fool's errand. More than you press others. Friend on what he saw. She was stabbed multiple times. How can you be sure of that? Blood. Logic of your argument is sound, at least. Delusion. Ew, what? Okay. They won't let me look inside the evidence, though. That's the thing. I should be looking at what's inside the pen. No, 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 no. Gosh darn it. No, 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 no. Objection! What was that? I guess I heard cries just go from inside me. I finally understand. Every time Kazuma said no Harusan has stood in this bench. What's making these minutes in post, Council? I'd like the witness to clarify something for What, where? Ow! Not you, Suzuki-san. The very distracted Inspector Hazagana. Me? Your statement just now. You said the victim was stabbed multiple times. That's right. As I said, when I entered the hut. And yet, you cannot be. What? This point, please, Counsel. First of all, clearly states that the victim was stabbed one time only. In other words, Inspector Hazagana's testimony was clearly flawed. Suzuki-san, me? You claim to have seen Mabami-san and the poison stabbing the victim. Yes, I did. Weirdly. You and the inspector. I was pulled on the knife, that you saw the defendant holding. And it's quite simple. We know the murder weapon was used to stop the victim only once, therefore. This is exactly your contention, Counsel. You won't tell us. Next, since there is only one logical conclusion. The moment the defendant, in fact, withdrew the belief in the victim's body. Then proceed to pull the it takes me back. Ever a child, the big projection intensity is still a show. Not so far. A child manage. Quickly get dressed. Thank you. Engage your brain in, man. When the accused plunged a deadly weapon from the victims, that was a fatal blow. At that moment, she had to have withdrawn the blade next to her. For him to saw, the wound contained blood because the accused had already stabbed the victim. Prosecution. Do I think I will quit playing one day? No, I don't think so. What makes you say that, Whittle? That's where we started. Sorry. Consider this, young yokel boy. If the student, as you claim, then why would she have pulled the blade from the victim? The demon cold exploded composure too. No. Why did Ray pull out the knife? Oh yes, going for the jugular. The council? Jesus, I don't know. We have to come up with a plausible reason here. I don't know the case. According to the post-mortem report, the victim's death was not instant. Correct. I thought it would for me. Giving her time to take a look at the people who concerns the killer. But the point is, being a medical research assistant, Nambi-san was compelled to act when faced when she wounded the victim, and considerately she pulled out the blade to attempt to save Miss Freak's life. It would seem that this is best we can expect this yokel. Indeed. Your Excellency, if I may. Speak, witness. I would like another opportunity to testify. I respect this supposed assertion just put forward by the yokel's defense, I mean. But matters of the medicine, he appears to possess not sort of common sense. Very well. I'll permit your request. You will testify again to the court on the subject of the defense's counsel assertion. Yes, sir. I will do flawlessly. Pulling a blade from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. The basic knowledge of that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In other words, there was no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Lest I forget, the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the highly respected mentor. Is that what you just said, True Inspector? Could pulling a knife from a wound really cause the wound to bleed heavily? Think of the weapon as itself as a stopper in the wound to prevent excessive blood loss. Until a doctor is ready to provide a stopper shouldn't be removed. Poke with the nose. Hold the nose again. Of course you have. Yes, or basic. That would... I don't know. Yeah, there's a storm coming to my... It's still here, but I don't know if it's good. I don't know if I'm going to lose power again. However, I must warn you that your crisis will identify issues. Gosh darn, the storm's gonna get here so freaking bad. I have nothing. Do I have? You said you let me leave you. In other words, a medic would need to be present. Rape does not possess it. What do you think about that, Professor Karpov? Well, sure, you should be labeling your best friends. Well, I thought it would be better than labeling her as a murderer. That's right. Careful, Counsel. Lack of common sense could be a very dangerous thing. But the defendant had suddenly encountered somebody sitting on the ground, bleeding to death. The sight of her shot delicate. Irrational behaviors. Oh yes, that was true. That's the courtroom, isn't it? You knew. I know what to do. Doesn't actually appear to be any ink in there at all. I figure which statement I gotta press it on. I think it's this one, or I think it's the third one. But let's just go ahead for now and let's...
Objection!
Nope, not that one. Alright. I think it's starting to come more clear. Third statement. No, not that one. No, not that one.
Objection!
God damn it! No, that's not it either.
Objection!
I can't figure out. And the argument I feel. Understand it. No, that's not it either. No, that's not it either. Heavy bleeding, medical researcher, no. Words, no.
Objection!
I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I don't know. It's not it either.
Objection!
Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what to do. You gotta go to the first statement. And you're gonna press this.
Objection!
Gosh darn it. How do you... Oh, wait a minute. You didn't press on the... I don't think I pressed on the first statement, did I? I didn't really press on the first statement, did I? No, I don't think I pressed on the first... Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Alright. That seems to be an important article. This is a deadly poison stole from. Alright. Okay. Okay, so he would. Okay. So now we're going to begin to understand this a little bit more. Guys, about to start the final blow on this.
Objection!
Nope. Nope. We gotta go to the. Nah, go to the motive. Go to the. Let's see. Go to here.
Objection!
What? Oh, come on, really? Freaking hell. Ah, gosh darn it. What am I forgetting here? Pull the knife out of the victim. Do I...
Objection!
Gosh darn it. Ah, darn it, what the hell do I do? Gosh darn, what the heck do I do here? Pull a blade from... Okay. What the hell do I do?
Objection!
How do I put this on? What the heck, man? Okay. Let's see. Fuck! I can't.
Hold it! Objection!
I don't know which statement I put that on. Poison article. Wait a minute. Yeah, because she was being poisoned.
Objection!
Yes! I think I got it on the right path. No, there is one possibility, one very good reason. The defendant might have decided to withdraw the knife from the victim's wound. Really? Way. The yoke was not only a guy grasp the law, but also poor loser. Tell us then, what possibility do you think you identified? Here. This newspaper article about deadly poison that had been stolen from the laboratory. But call to the fence. Okay, that's actually what part of the newspaper. Yeah. Yes, it would seem so. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Are you suggesting the knife was used to attack? You know, explain the defendant. Truth is, it could be utter nonsense. Ow! The word poison is nowhere in this document. Well, that's... What was that deputy was over of this case? I believe the defense is well aware. We have no proof that the information in this rich newspaper article is reliable anyway. Console the Caesar see. How? Oh, guys, I gotta answer this. Dang it. Yeah. I think the feeling between the two. Composing this article. Yes. You said you've seen it? That means the only place you could have.
Take that!
Gosh darn it. I don't. Gosh darn it. Like I was supposed to do here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Do I go to the.
Take that!
Come on. Does that. Doesn't make any sense. Why would I have to go to the post-mortem report? Okay. It would ask the court to refer the notes of the section of post-mortem report, which reads, extreme losses pupil constriction, which was observed on the victim. Clearly, Aoka with knowledge of forensic science. No idea, so please do tell me. Presumably, the fact in this condition is the victim was noted in the post-mortem report. In condition. What are you doing, you local detective? Newspaper article where the following narration is stolen poison. The onset symptoms occurs in minutes, and there will be accurate construction of the pupils prior to death. What? If the defendant upon the victim was stabbed in the back, what happened on that notice, the pupils of Miss Bird's eyes constricted severely. Yes, as a medical researcher, she would have suspected poison really, without a doubt. I think you'll agree. This is very compelling evidence. The defense has probably demonstrated a credible reason for the defendant's actions. I believe you are best placed here to confirm to deny the veracity of the defense. You will tell the court the truth about the details reported in this newspaper, please. It pains me to have to admit it, but I'm afraid I don't know. You don't know? The toxin was kept under a lock and key in my laboratory, certainly. I was unaware of any theft. So without returning to the laboratory, have escaped myself, I couldn't say. Listen to the academic. Be aware of the theft. Research from the workplace until he reads in the newspaper. I take full responsibility for the competence of this supervision. You should be more controlling of your own students. I'm going killing sprees. That's totally unfounded. What about his fault? That's all my fault. Future examples like that will not be tolerated. But it was me. I was the one who noticed that poison that we were developing and had been stolen that day. So you knew. missing charge of overseeing the project. It was that day that the professor and Suzuki-san were interviewed together in the newspaper. That's when I noticed some of the poison was missing. A tiny amount it was. Why did you let me know immediately? I was scared. The whole project was supposed to be confidential, but some of the toxin had somehow been taken. So I decided to try to get it back before anyone else found out. Was a thief. You don't mean... Yes, of course. The identity of the English woman was just about Bree. That's why I decided to join a little group of people going to Seaside. Inside the beach, I confronted Miss Bree, but she just sat on the stool in the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me as if she knew she was untouchable. I know she was told to poison. Well, now, whatever do you mean? And then she suddenly got to her feet before falling onto her knees in front of me and then collapsing on the floor. That's when I saw the knife in her back. I couldn't understand what just happened. And then, a moment later, I was seized with fear. People in our eyes had shrunk to tiny pinpoints. I don't believe it. In other words, you realize that the victim from the effects of the stolen poison. My mind started racing. I hadn't seen anything past Miss Breed's lips whilst I'd been with her, but which left only one possible way for the poison to have entered her body. The blade of the knife in her back, and the train of thought that spurred you with the withdrawal of the blade. Yes, if the amount had entered her bloodstream to a small enough, she might have even had a chance. That's why I hoped. Really, I'm sorry for staying silent this whole time. Your attempt to hide the truth what happened is not something that can be overlooked. However, I have a duty to note the courage with you confessed at the end. Thank you, Your Excellency. It's barely perceptible, but I don't think the balance has shifted a little here.
Attention!
You actually do. The victim just collapsed right before you opened eyes to say, well, Mommy-san, if that's the case, perhaps you could explain how Miss Bree came to be stabbed. Well, you have no answer to the simple truth, because you stopped the victim that was motivated by revenge. But you have no conclusive evidence to prove that assertion, do you? Oh, I have evidence. It is very much conclusive. What surprises do you, young student? I'd imagine you don't even need to submit the evidence. But you brought this on yourself. Could be a more shot exists that currently in the air, the beach is no subject. This evidence is no more than any other reveals the true extent of the accused wonders of nature. At the precise moment, the Nabi-san plunged her dagger into the victim's back. I thought it's true. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Order! Counsel of Defense, was it you who was responsible for that thrill screams who just perished in my courtroom? Perhaps the voice has to breathe. The oath is a slow of mine, and so to nature. Immature. Very immature. Careful now. Careful outside now. Starting to show Crystal's face. Is it often that the picture is worth 1,000 words and we have an ample proof? The courtroom works, since it's extremely common to photograph print as evidence. Can't believe that he had a photograph like that the whole time. Objection! Objection! Crap. That wasn't. But what if the knife wasn't the murder? You sure it was a knife that killed her? I don't understand. How did you... I mean, who took the photograph?
Objection!
There's no importance here. Start trying to avert attention.
Objection!
That's what I was to say. Whoever took this photograph was a witness to Miss Breed's death. The court must be allowed to hear this person's testimony. I will uphold the defense's demand. The prosecution will reveal the identity of the person responsible for taking this photograph at once. I'm afraid I can't do that. Pardon? You see, the photograph at the Imperial Police Bureau headquarters by a trip express post yesterday, but there was nothing to indicate the senator's name or address to Providence Park is unknown. Goodness! So we are to understand then, counsel, that the full knowledge of the fact that this photograph is a murkiest of origins, you nonetheless believe its fit submission as evidence in the Supreme Court? When you first produced that print before, I noticed you had hesitated for a brief moment, but you knew that because it was completely reliable evidence, didn't you? Silence, you yoga student, not blabbering professor. What matters is the valiant truth that this print so eloquently expresses. But the defendant was already admitted to pulling the blade from the wound. Clearly, this isn't the moment the knife was plunged into the victim's back, but at that moment it was withdrawn. Don't waste this court's time with your ramblings. Indeed, without knowledge of who produced this print, we have no means of verifying the claim. And then seeing it captures it without a doubt the most compelling evidence presented to the court. If the defense is unable to shed any further light on this matter, I believe the conclusion is clear. So now, this is time for you to fight. If what you have established so far is true, then there can be no doubt. This photograph shows the moment that Ray withdrew the blade from the victim. Yes, but we just need to prove that somehow. You have plenty of time to rue your defeat on the show train back to the provinces. And the day you came up against Takashi Asashi in a court of law. So we're looking at who took it. Well, Consul? Your Excellency, the question is who took the photograph. The truth is, I have an answer. Whether I can come up with a person, simply I have to. Indeed, the person who took the dramatic photograph print is, I assure you, something the defense can and will reveal. No, you can't possibly. But as you so boldly claim you can, please do it like. Unfortunately, I'm unable to present a name. Oh, utterly, do you really believe you could? However, I am able to present evidence a piece of evidence that reveals the important details of the photographer's identity. Well then, Counsel, present your proof to the court. What piece of evidence do you think is the photographer? We have to go from here. If it's not the other photo.
Take that! Take that!
What's that? The Reckless England Reader's Tell-All. It's not the headline that's relevant here, Your Excellency. It's the photograph. You look at it closely. You'll notice there's some white lines on the right side. Yes, indeed. They had actually caught my eye, so it happens. Whatever. I show some kind of presumably from the branches of a tree or the like. There are no trees growing in my laboratory at the university, I can assure you. Now, this photograph. Good gracious! Yes, exactly the same pattern of the lines presented on this photograph, too. Well, that tells us nothing. Yes, the shadow of some kind definitely branches the tree. There wouldn't be any trees growing inside the hut of the beach console. Talk is that the two patterns are absolutely identical. How could such an extraordinary similarity have been transpired? A curious match in the pattern appears on both photographic prints as a result of... Obviously, it must be due to a problem with the camera. Let's take the photographs. With the photographic device? Yes. We can confidently say that the camera lens must be scratched, but the scratched lens are unwanted lines to appear in every print taken with the device. In short, the two photographs under consideration here were taken with the same camera. But there must be hundreds of devices here in the capital. It would hardly be impossible to identify the owner of this. I think you're forgetting, prosecutor. That one of the photographs featured in a newspaper article. The newspaper? Oh! That's right. The author of the article is the mysterious witness to this crime. No. I see you were called a miraculous injury on your laundry. What are you telling me? You already testified. It's meow. I tell you, meow. Suzuki-san, what was that? Did you say Minimo? Ever since I returned to Japan, the reporter from the Shoyu News has been hounding me, following my every move. A reporter by the name of Redtail. Yes, hammering me from dawn till dusk. Now he mentions it. Wait a minute! He had something on his left arm. The picture was taken by Minimo. Yes, my lord, your excellency, Esquire. Officer, this person wants to bring him to my courtroom. Well, during the short recess in the meantime, I could have sworn I saw something on his hand. What's that purple stuff that's on his hand? Could it be the poison? Wait a minute. I want this knife to murder weapon examined for traces of poison. If it wasn't on the blade. Could the photographer really have killed that lady? Minimo! Back to Minimo! 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 I'm so sorry. This is... Hey. I know. It's not at all. I was just scared of my failure coming to light, that's all. I finally found out. I remember. Yet I don't deserve your trust in me. You treat your faith in me. But hit me so I deserve it. In fact, throw me to the floor. No. No, it's too good for me. Well, drive me to the city streets. Gosh darn. Gosh darn, this girl's got a weird fetish. I know you. You're in my heart. I always knew you pulled through the knife from the spirit's back. When in my mind, I doubted you. So, I'm so sorry. After I stood here and promised I betrayed your faith in me too. But as such, I failed you as a lawyer. No. I think the situation has taught you both a valuable lesson. Placing your unbribed faith in one another is no easy task. His father, the fact secretly has struck home, as which I am more to clarify now. So Ray, can you find in your heart to forgive me? Oh, Cyril, you always so idyllic. I'm so scared, you know, when it happened. I didn't know what was going on. The ex-woman was sitting in the back of the hut. I was sitting. I know it was you. Whatever do you mean? It wasn't weird. Pops in the front of me with a knife in her back. Before my eyes. And you were the old people in the hut the whole time. That's right. It possibly is. Mystery indeed. I can't believe it happened. That's why I'm just gonna bring myself to speak up. It'll be alright. However, it happened. Whatever really went on by the sea that day, I promise you that I'm going to prove everything that what you said is true. Spoken like a true. Now, I think we should discuss what's coming up in the trial, don't you? We don't have much time. We must make sure that we have all our facts in order. I expect the poison identified by the blade by now. I guarantee you it's on the blade. It came from the pit. Either that. A chemical agent. A colleague of mine. Wait a minute. Wait. Can I just detect poison with it? I think they're gonna explain to me how to use it later. It was suddenly very quiet. The newspaper, the article. Explosive deadly poison stolen from the Yame Medical Research Laboratory. Oh yeah, the information got out, given that the government secret. It's all the Englishwoman's doing. Stole from the professor. Hey, my wolf queen. I'm not sure if you saw it earlier, but that guy Suzuki-san, he kept screaming out. It was a guy named Minimo. I just said it like this: Minimo, Minimo, Minimo. wait. So the Englishwoman swarmed in, and without any complication, Professor Makotoba. Oh, Professor, surely your guest would love to hear your work of importance there. Minimo! But remember, Saku's curiosity has just been plagued, so I had a little about the poison? Yes, it was highly likely. But the reporter who was writing up the story about us, I can't get close to you. By the way, why did that reporter join all you when you went to the beach? Yay! I don't remember the porter being there. Indeed, he shouldn't have been. Very much doubt the person wanted. Ah, damn it. Let's see. I'm in there. Uh-oh. No criminal have been given permission by the authorities by the seaside. But the reporter might have been problematic, so that Alan was sent back to his office. Wait, what? So yeah, obviously he didn't go back. He strictly followed the party to the beach in this very candid photograph, and then he posted it anonymously to the police. Yes, that must have what happened. Consul, we just heard the new witness is ready to testify. The trial's about to receive the courtroom at once. Time to see us again then. Defense attorney, Ryotaro Nahato? Yes. Bush. Let's go take a look, see who this one dude is. I call this court in order we reconvene. The trial called Trial Ramambi. Prosecutor Aji has summoned a new witness. There's a question, Your Excellency. I have some very important news to share. Oh. What news? And why does he look so happy about it? He says with the collaboration of Professor Makotoba's laboratory at Yuma University, the police have re-examined the knife that was used to Mr. Supposed's life. Excellent. I admire your rapid handling in the matter. Oh, Too kind, Your Excellency, too kind. But you merely carry out the instructions, of course. Or delivered to the police headquarters worker shop. So what happened? By judging by the man's mugger, I fear that we might need to brace ourselves for the inevitable. Consul? And Consul, what were the results? The dagger which so secretly ended the life of the victim had no trace of poison anywhere along its blade. Are you sure about that? I take the reputation of the police on it. Armed with the regiment to test the sample, they couldn't have made a mistake. In short, the accused feels excuses it. Excuse. Wait. It's been utterly destroyed. Now, the prosecutor's ready to call the new witness. The newspaper reported me who managed to capture the photograph of the crucial moment. Good. Well, sir, bring in the new witness. No trace of poison on the knife. But if that was really the case, how come the toxin entered the victim's body? Minimo! Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. Why does he have ink on his left hand? Oh! Oh, well, Rotten Minimo of the Shiyu News. I'm what people like to call a general. Minimo! Shut up! Minimo! 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 It's Minimo! Minimo! I just love saying that. Minimo! 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 Come on, that's my Minimo! I don't know. What's a journal? What's a journal, Father? Do you know? Oh, it's simply a construction of journalist. It's where the news breaks, putting a pen and paper. It's where the news breaks and putting a pen to paper to catch those scoops so they print the next morning. They don't call me the hero for nothing. The nicest guy in the news. So, it was you who took this photograph, wasn't it? Well, what do we have here? I'm sorry. Brace yourselves, people. Minimo senses a scoop of the evening. Female student up to foul play. Curiosity, handsome young lord, Supreme Court. The readers will lap this up. Whoa, set above the old phone 72.5 long format morning edition. This guy's high on crack. Right then, let's start with your name. It's Redtail. What made you become a lawyer? I wanted to reform our country's legal system, I suppose. Taro has suddenly become very ambitious, I see. Look, I just borrowed Kazuma-san's dream for a while. By the way, my name's Takashi Ochi. The so-called dark horse, the Supreme Court, my objections strike fear into every defense lawyer's heart. Yep, I'm in disguise as a guy because apparently the court systems in Japan at this time wouldn't allow women to be female lawyers. So she's in disguise to try to change things. Yeah, because nobody else would defend her friend. No, the readers won't buy that. What? Witness! Yes. What is the court demands to know is whether or not you were responsible for taking this picture. It was delivered anonymously to the Imperial Police Bureau only yesterday. Yeah, I would be a journal if I didn't click quick when presented with a scoop like that now, would I? Sometimes stories call out to me. Sometimes I chase them down. By the way, you gotta be fast. Fast legs run with, fast legs right with, fast leg... and a fast to right with. It's no good if you don't note it down, like I always say. That's what I call minimalism. Minimal! Minimal! Minimalism? Yeah, your face. We met that day. You were interviewing myself and Suzuki-san. Yes, that's right. That's me. Minimo again. But you were supposed to be going back to show you new offices after a meeting. The scoop is, I didn't. Because an Englishwoman's word had piqued my journalistic interest. What's that on your hand, dude? There is something on your hand. There's something on your hand. There's something on your hand. There's something on your hand. Oh. Shite's off. This guy is just gonna keep looking at that. Apparently, was like, come on. Thank you, please, just because I happen to be a British citizen. It's horse dog. The country's judiciary is rotten to its core. See your tongue, young man. Come on. Anyway, quickly jot down with the words that stand in my memo pad. Are you ready? I'll read it out. Alright, here it goes. I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. And a serious criminal's going on some junket, and the people need to know about this. I'm gonna sneak in after them. Do you mean to say that you didn't indeed witness it firsthand? Yes, I saw with my very own general eyes. From start to finish, to the viewfinder of my trusty camera. Thank you, Mimio-san. You will now give your formal testimony before the court. You will state exactly what it is you witnessed surrounding Miss Breed's death. I guess, guys, we get to hear from... Minimo! Beach Hut was so made of Jody Old Red's screens, so there were plenty of gaps I could see inside, though. The Englishwoman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her. Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife and threw the Englishwoman on the floor and stabbed her in the back. What about the rough screens and poked the lens? Perfect shot. Gosh, you're a real Superman, aren't you? Just like my Wolf Queen says. Right. Oh, well, let's see. Someone's been attempting a plan invasion of privacy. One day, scoop to the next. The Mimoism is a nutshell. Mimo. Wonderful news, Your Excellency. Wonderful. Nevertheless, I cannot be denied. And that test. Very one large question. What question? Exclusive news. Sterling photograph. All the markings of the accessible storage of the reporter. Why then was the story never published? That's right. It's clear to me that the circumstances at play here have to be understood. So your cross-examination, Your Excellency. Minimo. Minimo, 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 Minimo. I'm gonna press you, Minimo! What made you want to see what's happening inside the beach hut in the first place? I see. Where are you going with this? Brace yourselves, people. Painting. Holy slander, you had... Can't be you're taking pictures of knowledge? Nope, you got it all wrong, little student boy. Sorry. To my mind, it was all... Right, so if that's all that button up, move on. Now the court then witness. Let's pull back your reeds and I can tell it clear as day. You actually saw them. Yep. That's weird. The argument you mentioned, was that all about exactly? You stole it. I didn't steal it. I couldn't. I mean, she said. Seconds later, that girl put on her knife. Right you are. When I first peered into the hut, you testimony confirm that. Just sat in the back of the hut, smiling. I was watching. Where exactly were you watching from? You know, son? What's you watching the turbo stuff? So you didn't convert you haven't sprayed at all? We have to show him on the map where the heck he was.
Objection!
Wait a minute, there ain't nothing that we can use to prove that he would. Really, you didn't set foot inside the hut at all? Are you quite sure about that? You said you weren't in. You never want that for.
Objection! Objection!
You said you never once stepped foot inside the hut, right? Never once stepped foot inside that hut.
Objection!
Hey, you can't use the photos. What the heck? The core is always full of warriors there to capture the infant. Well, why then did you choose to post the photograph alone? Afraid? I don't understand what is coming out of your mouth. I'm asking what the journal is. You decided not to make a story out of the incident. did you manage to take the photograph? You were outside the hut. How'd the... But the two women inside didn't... There's the real truth. I never set foot out of the hut and spoke. No, no! I'm trying to think what I could use against him. Something that can prove that he was there, though. How the... I was only there as an observer. I pulled apart through the wave of screens and poked out the lens for a perfect shot. Wait a minute.
Objection!
How do I get to this guy? This guy's lying on something. I can't put my finger on it. He's lying on a statement, I think. How the heck do I prove that he's lying? Dang it, what do I need to prove? 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 There's gotta be something in... I'm not looking through. Not that. Alright. He had a...
Objection!
Yeah, he had to been lying on something, man. You said you never stepped foot in that hut, right? You never stepped foot in that hut. You said you never stepped foot in footprints.
Objection!
Gosh darn it! I don't know what to press on! Gosh darn it! I pull apart the...
Objection!
No. Wait a minute. How the heck did you see it happen? So I'm saying, I don't know. This guy is hard to read. Can't really...
Hold it!
Alright. Alright. What the hell do I do? Alright. What if we take that... That's right, they never stepped foot inside there.
Objection!
Gosh darn it! Where's his last statement? Damn it. I've been pressing on all the statements. I don't know what the heck to do on this last statement. Though, can I not? You know what?
Objection!
I'm gonna try all these and see if they come up with anything. That's not right either. Crap. I've been using this frickin' thing, but I can't seem to get this statement right. Oh, darn it. Am I missing something on it? There's something on that blade that you haven't. You're good. Just trying to figure this out. This, okay. There's footprints. Gosh darn it! I don't know what to do here. You're only there as observer. I fell apart. The screens and oh, I think there was one say I didn't get a chance to. Did you really? Leave the other footprints, take the other photos. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What you just said, dude? Leave nothing but footprints. I think I'm starting to get the picture here. Shit! Shit! He said leave nothing but footprints. God damn it! What am I doing wrong here? God damn it! Part through the frames for the perfect shot. What the hell am I supposed to do here? Gosh darn it! Oh, this is starting to piss me off. I can't. Okay. Wait a minute. You said go into the screens for the perfect shot. I got a feeling they're gonna want me to freak.
Objection!
Why? What am I exactly doing wrong here? Let's see. What am I exactly doing wrong here? I've been pressing on all these damn statements. Pressing on every single one of these statements. What do I do here? I never once set foot in that hut. Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, there were foot. Oh, I think I know what I'm doing wrong here. Huh, there were footprints in that. There are footprints in that damn photo. You said you never stepped foot in there, but you're lying.
Objection!
Oh, gosh darn it. Oh, fuck. There was clear evidence on that photo. The hell do I do here? Okay. How do I...
Hold it!
No, gosh darn it. No, it's don't. There is nothing I have here that's gonna frickin' help me! Gosh darn it, I'm going... Okay. The beach hut has shady road. Please tell me I'm getting this right.
Objection!
Gosh darn it! Gosh darn, what am I doing wrong? Chris, you were... Damn it. It's true, its testimony is devastating, but... I don't know what the hell to do here. The beach hut was so made. The student girl came in and started arguing with her.
Objection!
Who's messaging me right now? Hold on, guys. What is going on, dude? Minimalism, huh? Trying to think about. I mean, using all the freaking cameras for that last demon, but I don't. Wait a minute. I see the witness like. You show them evidence, but I don't know. What do I use? Never said.
Objection!
I don't know what to do here, man. I don't know what to do here, man. Oh, I see. Wait a minute, that's what I was missing. I'm going insane here. Oh, I got you now, motherfucker. I got you now.
Objection!
Na 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 na. Mimo, I got you now, Mimo. Minimo-san, I think you spot there. The press doesn't lie, which is why I'm proud to wear the symbol. And anyway, what's more about this minimalism? Sadly though, it seems that the journalists who wrote those papers don't always share the same passion for the truth. Son, do you recognize this fountain pen? Got you now, Mimo! I suppose that Mr. Braid's death, in fact, being in her hand when she died. What are you? The barrel of the pen, you'll notice that it's right here, RM. Yes, thank you for bringing that up, Counsel. Initials are the accused of Ray Mambi. Coincidence, I wonder. That your initials are also RM. Rotten Minimo RM. That's horse dung! Can't you see I'm one of the central tenets of the minimalism is a pencil. And yet, the court will clearly be able to see on your right hand. That's a very obvious ink stain. It appears you must rather carelessly left somewhere recently. Your favorite pen, that is. What's on Dum-Dum? Minimo-san, it's not the case before. You met with Juiceable Breach in the hut. Well, this is right now, so it's nothing more than an excuse. Exactly! Shiny News will stand behind me all the way. I told them everything. This must be as many people initials RM. And there are stars in the night in the sky. I don't want the inclination to count every star in the sky. There's no need to anyway, because there's more to tell. Yes, there's another clue. The clue initially proves who the owner really is. Let's now show the quote where the alleged clue lies. What is Your Excellency? As well as the initials, there's also an emblem on the fountain pen. It was me. It's the emblem on the Xiaoyu News. In other words, the owner of this pen is an employee of the Xiaoyu News, whose initials are also RM. Suddenly, the stars in the night don't seem to be enormous, do they? Well, Minimo-san, how do you respond? No! An order! Explain yourself, witness! So, this is how the mighty Supreme Court works, is it? Use court to tactics to have some meaning citizens reveal harmless secrets. Used to honest tactics. Alright then, fine. We won't try to hide it anymore. Yes, long before the grim tragedy unfolded, I, Xiaoyu News Reporter on behalf of the public, conducted an interview with the Englishwoman. An interview? Bullshit. Exactly what was this? As I said, I was before that evils showed up. I could have lasted more than 2 or 3 minutes, that's all. Just a brief exchange. It came to nothing, and it was minimal. Got it right, but one more condition. In all good conscience, I couldn't speak out alone about this. You need to call back early with the witness. According to my notes here, that man has a secret of his own. Embrace yourselves. It's not a harmless one, it's big. Mina Muslim states that one man's secret's everyone's man's front page story. Well, I will grant the witness's request to Officer. I asked the Englishman for an interview, but she was declined, so I left out without making a fuss. Then, watching secretly from the outside, I saw a woman being stabbed, and the other witnesses come running. The detective That's when the writer man here asks the woman for a very significant question. But he didn't say anything about that in his testimony, which is why Meninoism demands I reveal it now. You mean to say the victim? The victim regained consciousness. And when she did, you decided to ask her a question? That's, true, yes. He did. That's not all, but the woman gave him a definitive answer. The answer that incriminates the accused. This is preposterous. Why am I now hearing about this now? Why didn't you mention before, you yokel hack? It wasn't even a conversation. Yes, I did posing whether in English rose a question. I don't deny it, but she could no longer speak, so she was barely conscious even. Counsel for the defense, I expect a thorough cross-examination to be conducted here. The court must aid, and we will know the truth. Absolutely, Your Excellency. I'm gonna have to press on all of the statements. I think the judge knows this guy's full of crap. This guy's all full of crap. Yuff. Crap. She declined? You asked her for an interview, you say? About the case with Dr. John H. Wilson when he lost his life? That's not why I phrased it, but the menu is called straight talking. Why did you murder John Wilson? How'd I put it there? As you're asking for a menu as a restaurant, best way, better. One simple phrase. Mysterious mystery is a woman's charm. Hugh, that told me. So I waltzed right out of there. The paper taught me that. Resistance is the prize. Aim. When you stop and so this is the scoop. Hey, fruits, you labor out to a parent telling this photograph, though I'm sure the young yokel student would have not redeemed the remaining evidence. Actually, this is a photograph. We haven't identified the witness. And now that you found me, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. I've got nothing to hide. Are you sure? Please go ahead, witness. The court was eager to hear what you have to say. Then try to stop me. There's a story to tell here. I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell it.
Hold it!
Arthur Friend here. Just twitching eyeballing. What did you expect? You don't know the terrifying troubles that taunted me whilst traveling abroad. Back behind beautiful bears. They're coming for me, surely. That's all I can think about. I fed through the gasping air, downing under the cold sweat. The water's deemed so close around me. My colleague recited a prayer for a man to bother. Come to this empty eternity. The end is coming for me, surely. No Sadras are up. Sound in my courtroom, please. And now, come for the creature part, that's when it happened. That's when the writer man here was asked a woman a very specific question. What question did he exactly say? Well, now, you should hear from the horse's mouth, I think. Don't you, Mr. Writer Man? Out with it, you yokel huck! What did you say to her? What did you say to the dying Englishwoman? Well, in truth, I've been catching crabs on the water's edge and building castles in the sand, you see. Oh, seaside is a place of leisure, I suppose, even for a grown man. But when all of a sudden, off from the little beach hut, the young girl's panic-stricken cries for help pierced the air. Ray. I ran up to the beach to see what was happening and find the defendant leaning over the collapsed victim. As soon as I expected, as I got out, saw Miss Bree on the ground and she sprinted off to get help. Then, just a moment later, I heard a faint moan, a moan from the dead Englishwoman. I nearly jumped out of my skin. But what did you ask her, Suzuki-san? I asked her, who did this to you? She didn't. She said nothing in response. But... Wait a minute, you... Hey, Will. I should have did this to you, but she never replied. So you tried to find who the culprit was? He who asks a question a fool for a minute does not I've been labeled a criminal twice during my time of grief, but now it's quick to make up my mind. better to be a fool for a minute than remain a fool in prison forever. However, you indicated that the victim failed to respond. Is that correct? Well, I know why the Englishman said nothing. Englishwoman said nothing. She was ignoring me because my stupid mustache, because I'm Japanese. Oh dear, Suzuki-san, he was to develop a dislike for the English. Having the reader report it on this time in Great Britain, I can't. Xenophobia. Did she, Mr. Raider Man? Huh? Well, yes, alright. She responded with a manner of speaking, I suppose.
Hold it!
But when we first entered the beach hut, the Englishwoman sprawled onto the floor before us. Suzuki-san, why did you neglect to mention this in your testimony? But say, not first quarter law. This is rules for the Japanese. Yes, the Englishwoman did point her finger towards the back of the hut, but I was trembling. Thinking about it, I feel as though that perhaps she was pointing out a slightly different direction. Actually, no, slightly. There's a very different direction to where the student girl was standing. Somewhere in the back of the hut where nobody was standing at all. You mean your memory of events? Direction in which the victim was pointing was unclear. That's it! Unclear! Very unclear! Your insanity sure proves this beyond reasonable doubt. That this woman was bare in conscience, and yes, perhaps her figure. That's why. There was no pointing. Now abundantly clear, no one besides the accused could have possibly have committed this crime. I'm inclined to agree. The absence of a credible argument and a contrary, I believe we can do now to conclude this trial. Now that's right in itself. Dashton's lawyer hopes those on the lowest page. A serious blow, Pseudo. We're unable to identify the true culprit. Trial will be over. But that's impossible, Father. We don't even know how the crime was even committed yet. Impossible though the task may seem, we have no choice. We must think back to over everything we just learned so far. Somewhere in those details, I'm confident we'll find the clue we need. The Englishwoman was sitting at the back of the hut. The back of the beach hut. Oh, there was a... But that was empty. But first, Your Excellency, I respectfully ask you to postpone your objection for just for the time being. Oh, to the Honorable Counsel, the defense would like to present the court with an alternative theory. An alternative theory that can explain who the victim was trying to implicate with her dying gesture. Alternative theory, none exist. trying to think. Okay, so the victim was here. Culprit was here. The entrance to the hut was on the right side, but the victim was sitting at the back of the hut. So how could she stab her from behind if the culprit, was right here? This is where she was. Ray was right here. The victim was right here. So where could have the victim been hiding? Well, like you just said before. Well, here's what I'm starting to think. You just said before, dude. You were standing. You've had it then. I know where you were at. You were either right here or right here. One of those two spots he had to have been at, because the only place that he could have, the only place where he could have gotten her. That is the only place where he would have gotten her, was right over here. Here to come up here and stab her from behind. That's the only place. Like you said in your testimony before. So I'm looking at the picture right now. This is where you were at before, dude. You were literally right here. What? The victim, Miss Bree, tried to reveal but the mustering remaining to the strength. Trembling fingers in the killer's direction. That's fiction, fantasy. Very well, as you seem to assure yourself, counsel, I mean prepared to hear your alternative theory. So, young Rutonado, Excellency, you present the latest theory to the court by means of plan. At the moment where the victim was stabbed, and where exactly he proposed the culprit was concealed. Okay. Now, let's think about this rationally here. Now, we just heard from the testimonies of each person. Now, the victim. Now, the move where the victim was. Now, the culprit. Now, the victim wasn't even right there. The victim was actually right here when it happened. True culprit. Okay. Wait. You just... Okay. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna redo that. It's not what I meant to do. Okay. If he was taking a picture from right there, he had to have been meant to do right here. All right. It couldn't have been possible for him to be there then, because he had to look through. I'm trying to think of another place where he could have been at. Think about this theoretically here. Now the culprit was right there, but the victim was right here. Could he have been outside? He couldn't have broke through there, couldn't he? This moment with a true culprit. The culprit. Wait a minute. It's starting to make sense now! No, wait, take that back. He was from outside, wasn't he? You're trying to freaking... There, counsel. Okay. Alright. So, there's gotta be somewhere on this map that tells me exactly where he was at. Okay, the culprit was concealed. The culprit. The moment where the victim was... So, at that moment, the victim was stabbed. Where exactly are you proposing? Was it right here? Alright. Need to rephrase. Okay, at that moment the victim. At that moment the victim was stabbed. Where exactly you proposing the culprit was concealed? Has to be around this, because it has to be somewhere. Okay, oh, the victim was stabbed. Everything we just learned in the court, so yeah. Okay. Let's look through the evidence real quick from everything we just learned. Because she was sitting right there when it happened. Couldn't have been there, could it? But why? But why? But why? But why? But what? This doesn't make sense. Right, but if the true... Right, but if she's See some mud with red. I gotta think of where the heck she could have been pointing at. So... Here or here. The hell, bud? But why? What the hell is she pointing at? Dude, this lady needs to start. Okay. Yeah, but that. The heck was a true culprit hiding? Okay. Damn it. If I were to see from behind, where would I be? There's a little hole that was through there too. Don't do it. The heck? Nothing makes sense in this one. Like, nothing makes sense. What the heck am I supposed to... Why? Why? The heck? Gosh darn it. I just had all the answers. This is giving me a headache. Alright. He can't be hiding from the table. Also, I'm saying he has to have been. The moment the victim was stabbed, so the moment the victim was stabbed. Where am I going to frickin' find? Wait a minute. Gosh darn it. Oh, where the heck was he taking the picture from? What the hell was he taking for the picture from? He couldn't have been taking it from here, couldn't he? Right. Alright. Gosh darn it. Oh, I don't know where the heck he was hiding. This is gonna be freaking hard. Alright, I'm gonna try this one more time. This doesn't make sense! This doesn't make freaking... Unless I don't have to go outside of the freaking map? I think he was...
Take that!
Start. Alright. Try moving. Gosh darn it. He had to have been. Where exactly are you proposing the culprit was concealed? Was concealed. Okay.
Take that!
There, counsel. There, counsel. There, counsel. Man, what if it was actually... Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong.
Take that!
Oh god. I'm doing this shit all wrong. Damn it. Alright. Alright. Damn it, Chris. How are you messing this up? Alright. Okay. So there's a table there. Yeah, there's literally a little hole right next to the seat. Little hut that was in there. Right. Right, but if there was a... Wait a minute. Can we look at that again? So there was the table there. Right, but the table was on... Doesn't show the frickin' table. Right. Yeah, it shows the one table, and it shows where they were sitting at. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, doesn't necessarily show... Yeah, right, but doesn't necessarily show me the freaking table. So, I mean, right, but we gotta think about this rationally, though. Yeah, the victim was stabbed here, and the culprit was... Yeah, the culprit was right there, apparently. Well, I'm looking at this wrong. Gosh darn it. This is gonna be a freaking headache. We're gonna be here all night, and I can't figure this out. I don't know. I'm just gonna take a lucky guess. Was it here? There, counsel. That's it. I'm gonna try. There, counsel. There, counsel. Lady counsel. Please tell me I'm getting this right. For the love of God. I don't know what I'm doing is right. But I keep getting this wrong. This part was so freaking hard I can't freaking dictate. Ah, damn it. Yeah, there was a screen behind the door, and I can't seem to freaking figure that out. Oh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm marking inside the circle. What if I go out of the circle? Will that still prove that he was there? Yes! Got it! Man, that's what I was doing wrong. He was outside of the circle, not inside of the circle. What the heck was I doing? So I'll never give up. No, I don't know. The true culprit stabbed Miss Breed. You can see on this location right here. Are you mad, counsel? You're suggesting that the culprit was outside the hut? Order. By student lawyer Nahado-san Esquire. That makes no sense at all. You just pointed the exact location where I was hiding to get my scoop snap. But I didn't see any suspicious individuals loitering out and about. I swear that. Obviously the culprit had been hiding outside the hut. There's no way he or she could have stabbed the victim from inside the hut. Actually, Prosecutor Achi, there is a way. And to point out that fact, the defense can provide evidence that the defense can provide evidence strongly suggesting that is precisely the way Miss. You're bluffing. You're bluffing. The defense's assertion is clearly too fantastical to comprehend. You need to give us more guidance, counsel. What piece of evidence corroborates the theory that the victim was stabbed from outside the hut? This. The original photographic print of the scene? It's clearly visible in this print, with a trace of the fatal thrust that was delivered from outside the beach hut. Do you take us for fools? No ain't such a thing. Not sure if everyone present would agree. Someone, well, at least appears to have noticed what I'm referring to. Counsel, once again, I must call you to be explained to the court. On which photograph is a trace of the stabbing which you claim took place? It took place over here. Look closely, just here. The screen in the back of the hut. You can see the blade has been carved through. No, I can't see such a thing. It's true that the hut in question has 4 walls. You expect, however, by parting the reeds, a knife blade could be cut easily to penetrate them. This is extraordinary. Yes. The true culprit had actually stabbed the victim from outside the beach hut. Ah! For everyone present at the scene, there is only one person who could have done that. The only person who was directly outside the hut when Miss Breet was killed. Right in Minimo-san! It could have been you! No! Minimo! The prosperous idea leaves me at almost speechless. Just look at the photograph again. The victim clearly in the center of the beach, does she not? We're to assume as part of the factual scenario that the assailant was a knife thrower. No, of course we're not. If you recall the testimony of the defendant about the events before the victim's death, I prefer to Miss Breet. Completely, I mean, she was untouchable. A stool. The photograph. Slit in the red screen. Went perfectly with the back person who was sitting on the stool. My word! So, in fact, the victim was killed while sitting on that stool by a stab wound back delivered through the red screen. Having they attacked Miss Breet, rose to her feet instantly, but then, unable to speak, she collapsed on the floor in the middle of the hut. But before the defendant, Mibe-san's appalled eyes. After that, Your Excellency, is the truth of what happened on the beach that day. By your silence, Minimo-san, I take it that you don't deny the charge. This is absurd! That will do! It appears that it is a tactful admission of the guilt of the witness. Accordingly, this court has successfully established the truth of the matter, which means the defendant, Minimo-san, is innocent of the crime. Goodness. I must say, I've never been more proud. No, this can't be. Achi-san can't. What my growth, my hope. It wasn't in a portion I can't accept as I won't. I see no reason to continue this trial. I will therefore move to conclude the proceedings by delivering my final verdict. Again. Well, this is all very convenient. Somehow the highest court in the mighty empire delivers justice, is it? Suppressing well-meaning citizens' freedom to speak and branding them as criminals. But we've established that the victim was stabbed from outside the hut, though. The reed screen walls. And no one but you was at the place at the time to have his hand slit on a blade. But it's perfectly a logical deduction. So, your argument hinges on the location. Whoever stabbed the Englishwoman, does it? Well, it seems a little irrelevant now. Irrelevant? Where she was stabbed, how she was stabbed, it doesn't matter. I mean, whether she was stabbed at all makes no difference if you think about it. After all, this trial's already shown the whole thing and hinges somewhere else. What are you talking about? Brace yourself, little man. I'm talking that everything's changed because of the dirt you dug up. Enough of serious. Point yourself witness. What's to explain? I'm talking about the poison, of course. The poison? Let me ask the professor a commitment to the situation, shall we? I understand a deadly poison you were developing was stolen from your laboratory, correct? And it's been shown that the poison was administered to the victim, Miss Breed. Is that correct? That's correct. An unusual construct in the victim's pupils, a sign that particular poison was used. I see. No, presumably that means that the victim was already dead and had the poison in her body before she was stabbed. But given her pupils have clearly constructed, highly seems likely, yes. But she had been dead already, the poison could have not circulated in her blood. How refreshing to hear the argument of a metropolitan mind. Precisely, it matters not, jot, to whom and whose back of the blade. But quite simply, the Englishwoman's life was taken not by the knife, but by the poison. But that can't be explained by the poison being in the blade. I already... You forget already, have we, Yoko? During these very proceedings in the laboratory, Professor you're providing. And that bladed weapon was used to attack the victim and had no trace of poison whatsoever. So let me get this down. The facts are skillfully established by the defense in this trial. Turns out the headline making is red herring. Isn't that right? Well... Order! But where does this leave us? This is not appropriate answer to that. The lady was embedded in it. You mean she drank it? Here's another look at the photograph here. As you can see, the bottle of carbonated water in the glass had been knocked down from the city floor into the beach hut. The poison could have slipped it into another. But somebody made Miss Bree drink it. Well, what do you know? Look at those dashy eyes. This would make a great front page for it. Hey, why the bewitching stare? After all, I'm the last person you should be looking at. I should make no sense at all that I poisoned the woman with it? Huh, I thought I would have been satisfied already. Established? What are you talking about? Don't tell me you've forgotten. That's all a little hard to believe, given the person who established it was you. What does he mean? Oh, let me capture those white eyes of Prime Minister Fodder this is. It would seem that this has not been established yet after all. I hereby call upon the witness to give further testimony. That's great. Let me get one shot of the magnificent beauty. Your claim to be impossible that you were the one responsible for administering the poison to the victim. You explain to the court that your testimony on the basis which upon you make this claim. And I'm a journal, I'm a man, I've never tried to run and hide from anything in my life. And I'm not about to start now because that's Miminoism. Mimimo! For a brief moment, I thought the eluded truth was to be slipped right back again. Just where this trial's going to take us. Oh yes, I stabbed the English woman, and that's a very fact that proves I'm innocent. Because why would I have bothered to stab the woman if I already had poisoned her? And when I heard the student girl, the pompous English murderer arguing, got my goat. If the courts were going to punish Breed for what she did, someone else would have had to see the same justice. So you admitted then to what happened I described. So you're the one who stabbed me straight in the back of the screen. You can't blame the miserable country of ours. A country that bows to the presumed the foreign powers and the murderers walk free. What kind of future country like that can we have? That's why I did it. I did what our pathetic leaders didn't have the guts to do. Slap the bang in the middle of that charming lady's back. So I planted the blade, sweep justice right there. You just admitted to a murder, dude. Well, sorta. So someone who spends his life seeing that the truth is told. I feel really, really awful about giving a false information in his testimony before, but as it turns out, there was somebody who had it in it for the victim and got her before me. That's right, you guessed it. The pretty little student girl, and now they're after my own heart. You're implicating Reagan? She's the one who gave the poison to the English woman and ended her pitiful existence. And suddenly, snap, the journal off here in the book. An argument is a sound, certainly. The witness has administered the poison himself, needed to have waited to take the effect. Some questionably stabbing the victim in the back would have been entirely non-essential. Therefore, the reporter had nothing to do with the poison, yes. It's quite logical. That's right, it is. Logical and true. I'm glad you've seen the light. Justice at last. It's unbelievable. After I made such progress of proving his guilt, he's going to get away with it now. Think Kazuma-san and Ada-san. They never stop looking for a way forward until the judge gives his final gravel. Very well then, counsel. Proceed with what I assume to be your final nation in this trial. Yes, Your Excellency. I think I'm gonna get away with this. 'Cause I am hot, handsome, you know who I am, baby. I'm Meanie Mo. Meanie Mo! That's right, little dude. Meanie Mo! Meanie Mo! Meanie Mo! I don't know. Oh yes, I stabbed the English woman. In fact, that proves I'm innocent. Wait, how does that prove you're innocent?
Hold it!
So, you admit that you had a murderous intention to Miss Breed then. The English woman's very existence offended my sense of justice. Your sense of... These claims to total righteousness. Pursue evil, cold-blooded killer who committed the murder. But did I get good for our nothing government or do anything? Not a chance I had to step in. Fly the flag of justice. Put things right for the people. Yes, it was my... That's what drove me to do it. In summary, murderous intentions then. Whatever you want to call it, the point is this. The English woman was a blight, and so I had to do what was right for society. Yet a real wrong is done by the student girl and the dog, a crime which she must pay. Obviously, because the poisoning was nothing to do with me at all. Because why would I have bothered a woman I've already... So you're still maintain that you didn't give the poison to the victim. Obviously, that'd been like putting a belt on your trousers, but when you're already wearing the braces are like... The accused administered the poison following which the witness stabbed the victim. An unforgivable accident. But now one of the murder, the crime rests on the accused on his shoulders. That is how the law works, you see, Yoko. Who knows, you may even learn something here today. 2 constructive attempts on her life in space in 2 minutes. Quite a day for the victim. Do something that evil, and you got it coming. That's how it works, and that's the law of reckoning. That's not the kind of law in the court upholds. You will deteriorate. You were compelled to stab the victim than the witness. When I heard that student girl in the pompous murder arguing, got my goat. What exactly were they arguing about? About what happened in the restaurant 9 months ago. That's what. The student girl was lying into the English woman for killing her and beloved mentor, Dr. Wilson. Yes, John H. Wilson, a professor in medicine, invited here from England by the Professor Makotoba, no less, and also the best friend of the great detective Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I'd like to have his cup of tea. Right, but the Englishwoman just jeered. Her case was heard by the British Council in court, however. Doubt that she would simply have been acquitted and sent back to her homeland a free woman. I was eating that student up girl inside. You can see I really felt for her. I can't stand here and listen to this tripe. Young girl, you stand accused here. You can't just blurt out whenever you feel like it. No, you can't. Sorry, but I'm in the middle of some very important testimony here. Just keep quiet and listen.
But this awful man is making this all up. Sudaro, please, you have to make them listen.
Return to the dock at once, me baby son. We're in the middle of a cross-examination.
Your Excellency, please, I implore you. This journalist is clearly not a trustworthy witness. Exactly. He's a filthy, rotten, black-hearted, bigoted, dirty, great peeping Tom.
What? Take it easy there.
Please, I really think the court should hear what the defendant has to say.
Your Excellency, I see no need whatsoever to entertain the accused remarks. I shall grant the request of the defense.
But, Your Excellency...
This is just likely to be the final cross-examination of all these proceedings. As such, I believe it would be ill-advised to strife the defendant's obvious concerns. So, recognizing that this controversy regular protocol, I hereby call upon the defendant to speak.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. It was nothing to do with Dr. Wilson. We were discussing the stolen poison.
The stolen poison that killed the victim, you mean?
I suspected her of being the one to steal it. I mean, just think about how she killed Dr. Wilson.
Additionally, that's true. Additionally, Miss Brent certainly had a knowledge of the new poison. But surely it would not take an easy task to steal a highly secret toxin without being developed for the government. Indeed, all visitors to the laboratory are thoroughly searched when they leave. Even the thief managed to avoid being seen by himself or a colleague. Getting the poison out would be very difficult.
That's true. I pestered Professor Makotoba until he agreed to show me the poison when I visited the laboratory. But I left, and when I searched from top to tail...
Miss Breed rather bluntly revealed the existence of the toxin we've been developing, you see. And since Suzuki has expressed much interest in it, I felt unable to refuse. So obviously I gave nothing away, other than the fact that it's an extremely potent substance.
Very ashamed of myself. It's just that I had singularly experience with a deadly poison. But I wanted to look my old enemy in the eye. Surely you can't understand that. To find my suspicions were true, I confronted Miss Breed about the poison. So I told her that if it were to be an incident involving somehow, it wouldn't just be the university. The military would have dragged into it, the whole government, even the complete disaster.
So how did Miss Breed respond to your concerns?
She just cut up these beautiful lips of hers, and she said she don't know the first thing about it in English, actually.
Oh yes, Minimo-san. One small question, if you don't mind. I do mind. Can't you see I'm busy? Clearly, you were outside the beach listening to the words of the defendant and Ms. Breeds were conversating. Presumably, it was you who wrote this article about what you heard. Huh? Exclusive deadly poison stolen from local research facility. The story was published this morning in addition to Shio News. The details are too accurate for it to have been written by anyone else. Sorry, don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, look at this! The entire article! It almost said, I said to Miss Bennett, word for word! Well, Minimo-san?
What? As a journal and as a citizen of a free country, I don't have to reveal my sources. That's just a founding principle of Minimo-san.
Father clearly was right about this. So the reporter did write the article, but he has based it on whoever he heard from outside the hut. So what was that all about? Were you trying to cover up the fact that you were listening in? So that's why you came up with the stinking story about me arguing with that?
Shut up! My stories never sink! But look, whatever you say, little girl, doesn't matter. Your Excellency, there's something I want to say. Want to go on the record. Unless you have to poop, then very well you may amend your final testimony. Trying to hold her in. Point is that if you poison someone, there'd be no reason to go and stab the person as well.
Hold it!
It wouldn't die. That's a horse dung. What? What would be like the pouring the pepper and the pepper in your cheese and ramen before you toast it completely records. Although it might surprise you to learn that I'm a bit of a pompous or two it happens.
Once the victim had taken the poison, she would have only been minutes away from death. And yet this man proceeded to stab her in the back as well. There has to be a good reason for that.
It was a reporter who gave the poison to Miss Bree, clearly, but he must have done it prior to Ray entering the hut.
Yes, undeniable.
But between him leaving the hut and the victim having to be stabbed, there was one very crucial change in the situation.
Sorry, what change?
The reporter overheard the conversation between Ray and the Englishwoman.
Used. Has to be a key here.
The victim had unwillingly taken the poison already. The reporter would have had reason to stab her. Fact, face it, the logic sounds entirely reasonable. There's no question that this man was responsible for Miss Breed's murder. If we could think about a possible explanation, that what may have stabbed her with the poison. I feel it's... There'd be no reason to go and stab the person as well. We should...
Objection!
Why do I need this stuff, though? What is it? What do I need to use it on? There we go. I think I do use that. Well, I could think of one reason. What? But before I explain, I'd like you to confirm something for the court. Do you glean the information in this newspaper from what you overheard from outside the court?
Of course he did. There can be no question of that. After all, when we were all in the laboratory together, we were told there was a terrible toxin.
And there was one more important fact to consider. According to the witness, Mabambi-san's verbal attack against the victim soon began as she entered the hut. So, in other words, it would have been impossible for her to have slipped the poison into Miss Brett's drink. What are you going on with this, Consul? Mimi-san has made quite clear that he observed every single thing that happened, and the defendant somehow found an opportunity with this. If this man would have seen it, huh? Which means Miss Breed couldn't have embedded the poison which the defendant was present. In fact, it must have been administered to her before Mimi-san entered the hut. Yes, that's very accurately put.
When I walked into the hut, I immediately started to press Miss Breed about the poison.
Which point, Mimi-san overheard something more in information.
More information? What word information?
The information which subsequently included in this newspaper article, namely, that the poison was being developed in strict secrecy and that it could rarely be obtained. Absolutely. In fact, the quite understatement that the only possible place that anyone could find it is from my lab. Furthermore, anyone affected by the poison would exhibit the telltale signs of death.
Extreme construction of the pupils, yes, quite the stark when you see it.
But other poisons would show the similar symptoms among new substances that are undetectable. In other words, it would be clear that the victim's life would have ended in case of particular poison, which would reduce the number of suspects to only a handful of people. Everyone in my laboratory is aware of the unique prosperities of the toxin we've been developing, but none of them would be foolish enough to attempt to use it for some near-fish deed. Mabambi-san's being no exception. Therefore, we can conclude that whoever administered the unique poison to the victim was a layperson unaware of its telltale properties. In other words, someone like you, Ratten Minimo.
Ah! Minimo!
It was you who saw that poison from the laboratory that day. It was you who administered the unwitting victim, but quickly realized that was a terrible mistake.
Because the poison had caused such unusual symptoms, it was so traceable.
And as you listened from the far side of the beach walls, you learned these facts. You had already been given the victim the poison at that point. It was too late. So you hatched a plan to disguise your mistake. By plan involving stabbing the victim in the back through the red screen.
But what good could I possibly do?
Isn't it obvious, Counsel? The plan was to kill Miss Breed before the poison could take effect. Once in blood, the poison causes an onset pupil construction. But he had hoped to precipitate the victim's death before it happened, hadn't he? Exactly, because without any revealing poison use, no one would have ever suspected it. This is extraordinary! Yes, the effects of the poison were meant to easily identify. The killer had the mass its use, which he attempted by plunging a knife into the middle of the victim's back. Order! The argument presented in sound of the court has satisfied warrants consideration. Does this prosecution have a counter-argument it wishes to put forward?
Well, there's a number of, yes, I consider the payment. The prosecution of evasive response clearly shows that there is much the same way that we are nutterous remnants of his top knot. He is clinging on to lost hope.
You pathetic, useless, fallen samurai.
Fallen? Who you calling fallen?
I don't need a counter-argument.
What? What are you talking about?
I should be blatantly obvious. I stole the poison, you say. Gave it to the victim, you say. Stabbed her, you say. Lost to find theories. But I don't need a counter because you don't have an argument yourself. Where's your evidence? Yes, you make it sound all plausible, don't you? But without evidence, it means nothing. Where's I base news on facts?
Facts?
You mean, can you explain yourself? I mean, what the professor said earlier in this trial. It's all here, in all my many memos. Every word, every slip of the talk, all noted. Ooh, that's what the Shire News is famous for. What's the power of the printed of the word?
Shut up, we know he's a Texas still highlight time.
My bullet story wide open. See, I really mean more of a mere reporter than the Shire News. It could possibly have stolen that poison. Oh, from the professor's laboratory.
He must have stolen the poison that day. He stole it. And if that's the case... As you identified, the poison itself definitive evidence we need, because whoever stole it from the laboratory that day is the true culprit here.
What's your point? You're not a handsome country bumpkin.
My point is this. There is one way that you, Minimo-san, could have stolen the poison that day.
Have another objection now, thank you. The court must be shown evidence. What proof do you have that the witness stole the poison that day in question?
Only one way you could have stolen it. You had it inside the pen. The proof, Your Excellency, is this fountain pen.
Huh?
A fountain pen? How could that possibly be relevant? The magic pen somehow seems to have enough ink to write thousands of kanji characters. I believe on our country's first time for 15 years ago. But I swear the weasel collaborative brush is nothing. The newfangled pen's a merely fad. When I look forward thinking of a man's woods, obviously I love my fountain pen. Suddenly, to come, suffer this ink, and once work, I'll wash with words from the blink of an eye. That's right. Fountain pens have a small reservoir in the barrel, to which sucked up through the and in order to write later. What does this all sucking up have, huh? Just a possible suck-up to reservoir. It's also to eject through the nim again, of course.
My word! Can this really be?
Well, Minimo-san. When you saw the deadly poison before your eyes in the laboratory that day, you used your fountain pen, your livelihood, to steal some of it, didn't you? By siphoning the poison pen through the nim into the pen's reservoir. More absurdity! That's never happened! True, but we've heard before from the procedures in the place to prevent the thefts in the laboratory. But anyone would have thought to look inside the fountain pen of all places. No, I'm a little bit ashamed to say that fear not for offending our guests, such search would have not been conducted.
This is quite startling, I must say.
We remind the court that this pen was found in the clutches of the victim when she died. In other words, it was dropped by the scene of Minimo-san. The question is, when exactly the pen dropped?
Are you suggesting?
The natural conclusion is that your haste to act whilst the victim screaming at the moment.
You dropped the pen after you emptied the poison into her glass.
There could be any number of alternative explanations. For example, the witness could have been using his pen to write down the details of his conversation with the victim. And when shocked by an outrageous antics, the pen fell on his quote. No, that can't be. If it was, how do you explain why the pen was devoted in ink? See yourself to examine the evidence. There would have appeared to be no ink in the reservoir. The newspaper goes to the interview to shows nothing inside the pen. The pen was dropped after the poison was filled over the reservoir and had emptied into the victim's glass.
Witness, what do you have to say in your defense?
This is how our modern justice system works, is it? What if the ink in my pen runs dry, so what if my pencil snaps? I can always claw my way back into the game. I have plenty in reserve.
This guy's freaking lost it.
You claim I sucked the poison in my pen. That's a wild speculation, nothing more. And you thought you could bring down a fine upstairs trick to think again. Looks like though it's going to take one final decisive blow to finish this matter.
I see, the situation's now very simple. Rests upon whether or not the witness did intend to steal the poison the day in question, and therefore, it all depends on whether or not the defense can prove that with evidence.
No such evidence could possibly exist.
And son, that's how our modern justice system works.
What?
The courtroom, evidence is everything. Something you would do well to remember, because we are past the point of speculation at the stage, I assure you. Very well then, I call upon the defense to present the formidable evidence.
This is it then.
Counsel, what is this bottle?
This bottle contains a unique chemical regimen that can identify the poison in question.
Yes, that poison is entirely a new synthesis of alkaloids developed by colleagues and I. It would be possible to detect traces of it by any other method.
Or from another perspective. Simply with this chemical regimen, anybody at all could detect traces of poison.
A regimen? What?
Once dropped into the contents of this bottle, a dip of your fountain pen, Minimo-san, is all that it will take to solve this beyond reasonable doubt.
No, you can't. I won't.
Your crimes are bad enough, but at least now know when to admit defeat. Your Excellency, the defense requests permission to carry on the test of the fountain pen at once. This isn't my fault. The Empire drove me this. I'm a high civilized person married to come. I took upon the mighty pen. I fight and testify. Never justice righteousness, but yet I never done my thing anymore. Can I do it right?
Okay, you almost got compromised.
This isn't first drop the regiment. It was clear everyone was present.
Well, I saw it there in the lab, the poison. The devil got a hold of me, and I decided to do it on a whim. I emptied the ink down into the sink in the bathroom, washing the reservoir carefully.
Then you waited for the opportunity to suck some of the poison up, didn't you? Into your fountain pen.
Yeah, that's right. Answer me one thing, Minimo-san.
Why did you steal it? For what purpose?
Isn't it obvious? To find out what it was made of and expose the article. I mean, it was top secret project after all. Too juicy for a journal like me to pass up.
Then why did the English woman end up dead?
I went to all that hut intending to quiz her on the situation. That's all as a reporter. A known killer enjoying full freedom, evading justice by leaving the country. And I told her what I thought about it. And she laughed in my face.
Oh, what's this? A Far Eastern Cape man purporting to practice journalism. Really, you must learn the difference between reporting and listening to our donors, you arrogant Fabian.
What did you call me?
This country is, with its petitions to a justice system to free a press, and it's really depressing. You see our superior ways in the West, yet you lack the mental capacity to illuminate them. Get out of here, you oaf! Get out of here and crawl back into the cave where you came from.
That's what I remembered about the deadly poison that I had in my pen at the time. What a terrible tale. In my head, I knew I just got out of there as quickly as possible, but I couldn't. I couldn't let her get away with what she'd done, and which she clearly had no remorse at all. Suppose it was my journal spirit getting all fired up.
I'd like to ask you something.
Yes.
You often talk about justice. But surely, as a journalist, you could have used that means to deliver the justice you sought.
There's no justice in the press.
Sorry?
After the trial 9 months ago, I kept digging to find out what happened in the courtroom, and finally, I discovered the truth. It was a cover-up. That's what it was.
A cover-up? What do you mean?
I would remind you of your position, witness. Be careful what you say. Oh, come on. Doesn't it strike you as strange? We're suddenly not allowed to convict a foreign national consular jurisdiction. Should never have come into it. And yet, that puffed-up English woman was going to sail a sunset a free woman? The only possible explanation is that behind the scenes, some deal had gone down between Britain and Japan.
A sort of deal?
I've done my research, dug up all the dirt. I was ready to be published. But you know what happened? The editor just tore the article up. He came under pressure from the government. You mean it's our government is going to let criminals walk free? If they're going to let them crush the free press? What choice do I have to see that justice is done myself?
Lest I forget, Minimo-san, that you committed murder yourself and you tried to lay the blame on the defendant's door. I'm so sorry, but you're no better than Jezebel Bree.
What?
The truth is, you have no right to talk about justice at all.
I suppose.
It
would appear that we have reached a conclusion of the trial at last. Counsel for the defense, Requitedhawk.
Oh, yes. Sorry, Your Excellency. Just mail me away.
Almost unbelievable that this is your first experience at the Supreme Court. It was all just an excellent performance. And in truth, very much reminded me of your cousin's exploits.
How to Requitedhawk, you mean?
The way he handled the trial 9 months ago and you handled this one, it gives me hope that we are generally entering a new era just as a hand.
That's very flattering, Your Excellency.
Yeah, the defense you put forward today made me feel most like keenly that the future of justice will be forged by you and your contemporaries. Thank you. So, Prosecutor Hachi, do you have any final thoughts?
Prosecutor Hachi? Takashi Hachi-san had been bested by a youth now once now but twice. There is such shred of my former self left, withered, died here today. Gosh, your journey into culture and enlightenment sure took quite a while, didn't it? Silence! Rather having shame. I will end it all now with this blade. For the true path of Achiism. Achi! Is it?
One hopes the only way he'll be modeling himself is after the witness.
Spring of my top knot. Time for the right farewell. Hope is lost forever. Takashi.
Oh. Thought he was going to do something drastic. Now, in regard to the defendant, Ray Mabambi-san,
Your Excellency,
I have reached my final verdict. I hereby find you not guilty. Court is adjourned. Not guilty.
It's over. My heart's still pounding my chest, though. That's all I can do. Just stay standing. Lewis ever was a great burden to bear. But do they know Hado-san? Sotado. Thank you so much. You're dashing in there. And Father? Honestly, I'm so touched by everything you've oh no, I think I'm going to cry. It wasn't easy, but together we made it. I was on the verge of tears at the end too. The only real reason I'm here is because of you. Oh no, I can't take all the credit. It took courage and the truth in there. You did wonderfully, Ray. So I would have said the same thing. Congratulations to you. Don't be so standish. We're friends, equals, and the trial's over. No more of this formal humility nonsense. Time to celebrate with swagger. To throw out the caution in the wind. Caution in the what? I'm the great defense lawyer, Requitedhawk. I'm going to take you out to a milk bar tomorrow, or something. Oh, I see. I think about it, Ray. At any rate, we really knocked out the wind of the horde. It felt so good. It was so satisfying. It really was. Isn't there anybody else we could throw around together?
I hope you're not looking at me, Ray.
Oh my goodness. Of course not, no. At least Ray's lovely smile.
You fought for your friend the very last. As your father, I'm extremely proud of you. Defense Attorney Riyadh Nahado.
Oh, thank you, but I couldn't have done it without your help. But anyway, it's time to bid farewell to Riyadh, I think. I shall miss him anyway, but Toto Makoba for now. So, I'll never see him again then. What a terrible shame. What?
What's happening?
Suzuki-san, Inspector Asgana, I hope you've been keeping well. Is that really you? Yes, I didn't change my appearance for, well, obvious reasons, I hope. But it's me, Satoto Makotoba.
I don't...
So dashing, so divine.
No! It's terribly dashing! Yes, it's definitely divine! Just look at you!
I had no idea Mr. Tarzan Esquire you were locum student Nahado Esquire cousin.
Reggie, stunning, ace, attorney!
Poor Suzuki-san, so confused. I still remember the first time I ever met him. He was in a prison cell in London with extraordinary without reading student talent that he embodied in. But after Nahado left the Old Bailey, Suzuki-san was a free man and returned to Japan. And now he seems to have earned himself a great fame as an author. Stunned, truly impressive disguise. I had no idea that I had Chief Inspector at the Police Bureau who came up with Mr. Turtle, no less.
I'm not sure you'd be in a meeting to that, Inspector.
Amazing. You're a woman of many faces, I see. Just two, really. Once in a lifetime event, I hope. Oh, I'm not a patch on you, though, Inspector. Well, I'm a professional. Of course. I do worry about the Inspector Asgana sometimes. I really do. 9 months ago, when he appeared at the Supreme Court to testify, he was undercover and disguised as the head waiter of the restaurant. And then he's steamshipped to Great Britain as a sailor to keep us safe on the journey. Though that didn't help you, did it, Kazuma-sama? From my perspective, I have to admit that I have mixed feelings about all this. I mean, now the truth has been lost forever.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the murder that the Englishwoman committed at the end of last year.
Yes, it was an English doctor. She killed her, as I understand it.
Dr. John H. Wilson, yes. The man I invited to Japan personally. That mystery is why did she kill him? Now the culprit herself is dead, we'll probably never know the answer. So the voyage to Great Britain, we had almost unexpected encounter with Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, the great detective, I mean. Yes, I remember Sholmes well, of course.
Ah, my arch nemesis. How lately was his name?
According to the stories published about him, The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, the detective had a partner who helped him solve the crimes, a best friend. And that man was an exceptional doctor by medicine by the name of John H. Wilson.
What? Dr. Wilson?
I just can't believe that it's a coincidence. I think that English doctor of medicine that was killed here in Japan 9 months ago must have been a friend of the partner of Mr. Sholmes. And if that's really true, then the poor girl who won't ever see her beloved father again. As you know, I traveled to Great Britain once myself to study, and I was around the time you were born.
Grandmother told me about it, and returning to Japan, I took up my professionalship at the Imperial Yuma University, but I also served another one as an advisor to government diplomatic affairs. Yes, in that case, I'm sure you understand that there are some confidential matters I cannot divulge to you. Could you just tell me one thing? Why did you summon me back to Japan? It's been 2 months since I've returned, but when I left England, it was because of an urgent telegram I was received from Japan. It said you collapsed with a high fever, and you were growing weaker every day. Where'd that news come from? That's what I'd like to know, because after a long sea voyage, I found you in fine health, Father. Was there something in Great Britain that you perceived might be inconvenient, some way to harm me? Or is there only one explanation I could think of? Dear me, do you reserve your most cutting glares for your father, Pseudo? I'm sorry, my dear. I simply... Oh, let me go! Nemo-san. I've got before they take me away, Professor. Me? I know the truth. I know you had a hand in what went on in that visiting student's fate. Visiting student? That's about Bree, you mean? No, not her. The student of the law who left Great Britain 8 months ago. What does my father have to do with Kazuma-sama? Nobody in Japan knows anything about it. They don't know that the guy never made it to England, then he died on that steamship. He'll never are. Well, I didn't expect to find him here. Oh, the officer's playing at. Terribly sorry, Your Excellency. I was coming to tell you that Rickshaw has arrived. Eugen, and it's a good job to by. Yes, thank you for dealing with him. I'll be there shortly. Your Excellency? The trial's over. I'm not Your Excellency anymore. Merely your father's friends. Shishiro Joku. I merely say it since I saw you. You last seem to have taken on more of a dashing appearance. Pseudo. Did you know all along from the start of the trial? A judge sees everything, Pseudo. I couldn't let you take the risk. If Shiro here hadn't known, then he'd recognize you. So I had a word for his ear beforehand. He's as an old friend. So Shishiro, shall we? Oh yes, having ruled on that case, now we have various diplomatic issues that we need to address. Before you go, Father, sorry, my dear, we shall have to return on this early conversation on a later date. Well, again, for the both of you, you did admirably. Oh, what did you think of my shish? Hey, it's been a while since I had sent a man flying like that. Whatever Father could be hiding from me about Jezebel Bree, about Dr. Wilson, and now it seems, according to the reporter, about Kazuma-sama. I'm going to have to bring him up. Huh? Did you listen to Makoba Squire this? Could I have a word? Yes, of course, Suzuki-san. What is it? I think perhaps it could be the fate that we're meeting again like this now. You see, there's something I need to tell you. What? I believe that may be related to the reason why your father summoned you back from England. This I have to hear. Please, Suzuki-san, tell me once more. I will! As you know, my time in England was terrible. Cursed, I had no doubt. But the awful things I was embroiled in, thank goodness the locum student Hado son. After he secured my freedom, I couldn't wait to get on my ship back home, Momoland. Having arrived in Japan, I submitted a report about my experiences to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now, the next thing I knew, I had a visitor. It was your father, Professor Makotoba, and he wanted
to ask me all sorts of things about my report.
My father?
He seemed to especially be taken with a particular part in the report. Anyway, he left eventually, having thoroughly quizzed me. But it was the very next day that he sent the telegram to you, asking you to return to Japan.
What was it then? The particular part of my father that he was interested?
I don't know exactly.
But do you remember them? Those 2 terrible cases that I was caught up in? Of course, I could never forget. Your father seemed to be concerned. Your father seemed to concern himself mainly with the case. The second one. You mean the one Mr. Sholmes forbade any of us to talk about in public? Which is why the only case involving you that any member of the public is aware of is the first. Well, I don't care. I don't have to listen to what dastardly detective says. Anyway, the point is, it seems that the case somehow holds the key to all this curious, unanswered questions. The horrific, heinous case of the haunted lodgings. Wait a minute. Perhaps...
So, the mystery of that English woman's death is solved, thank goodness. And having stood in the Supreme Court now, I think I can comprehend a little better how you must be feeling as you fight for people's freedom in a foreign land, Naruhodo-san. But actually, I'm writing to you today because of another matter. I met Soseki-san and we talked about that second case he was involved in. Father has said nothing to me, but I feel certain of it. That case holds the key to some great unsolved mystery. My notes on the case should still be in the office, tucked away at the back of the shelves on the left. Perhaps you might like to look over them again. Today, for the first time this year, it feels as though summer has arrived.
My legs! My legs!
It makes me long to see you again. Yours, Susato.
Sustato. Hi guys. Alright guys, that was the end of the live stream. I shall continue on with part 2 tomorrow. So, if I got time tomorrow. But, you guys have a good night. Bye-bye.